Hello and welcome to the hardcore time question time. And today we got another thread we're going to look at, and it's TVZ. How to finish it. How to finish the game in TVZ. And how do you freaking finish killing that zerg who's taken over that whole map. So here's the guy's post, and I downloaded his second game because he said that's looks more like it actually has to do with the question he's posting for the thread, so I figured I'd go with that. The first game, he's saying the constant stream eventually wore the zerg out and killed him. That is one of the ways you're going to end up winning, is if you can just reinforce more than they expect and they decide to continue building drones instead of continue building army to continue, because once they get behind, then they die, right? But we're going to look at the replay, and we're going to go and see what we can get out of it, and see if we can answer some of Toasty NL's questions. So let's see what we can do, and I'll give you some feedback on your build and see whatever I can do for you. And let's do it. Let's see what happens. If this turns out to be Toasty is the zerg, no, he's not good. Alright. And in the south, we have our red zerg who just won't fucking die. And we have on the left our Toasty TL poster. He should win. We're going to root for him. I'm going to turn on the game music. Ah, wow. Look at that. Terran music. Very nice. Oh, that's loud. That's nice and loud. There we go. Nice. And we got the little Overlord Scout here. He's going to check out this base. And we're going to speed it up. And TVZ is one of those matchups that when it goes long and the zerg has a good economy on you and they've got more bases than you, it's really frustrating as a Terran, obviously, because that's how you end up losing. I've stayed in a lot of games where it was already over, I'd fallen behind, and I'm just sort of turtling for, 20 minutes. But I should have left. I never realized when I'm playing, oh, I really should have left that game. That was really frustrating. I just spent 20 minutes in an experience just to frustrate myself. Although every once in a while you end up winning and it's always worth it, but it's rough. It's a hard decision, but sometimes you just gotta GG and get out of there. But so if we look here, we just got a normal factory opening, and I like this. I feel like it's almost better to delay this factory 5-10 seconds, just so you're starting the reactor a little bit closer to when you started the factory. I know it doesn't make exact sense, but it lets you get your the supply depot a little bit earlier. So Zerg just did a pretty standard opening, getting their bases up. Let's see. Even in workers, very nice. And the factory you would get on that reactor, basically at the exact same time as you would have otherwise. Or a little bit earlier, rather. And you should be throwing down that expo right about now. And there it is, nice. And I like this spot for it, that's not bad. And going for a tech lab right afterwards. I don't know if this is going to be like a kind of a switcheroo sort of deal, or I'm going to speed up a little because we have a lot of game here to look at. But as far as these openings go, they're very important as what you decide to do right now. We're going to pause it. And, oh, even the music paused for me. Look at that. That way I can get all serious and you can listen to me. What you decide to do right now is very important as to how you want to move forward in the game. If you're going to start doing some sort of mech play, that's right now when you decide this. And you're about to do, you see you're throwing down 2 barracks, so you're going to go for a lot of Marine Marauder. Well, actually, I don't see any Marine. We're going for a lot of Marine, and you're getting the upgrades, and you're going to move this over here, maybe get siege tanks or something like that. But right now is where you decide, am I going to go for some sort of big push when the stim's done? Am I going to tech up to medevacs, do some drops? You've got these Hellions out, so you can kind of, you're safe from any sort of Baneling busts, and you should be able to scout roaches in time, generally. So that's of course smart. You're not going to be able to do much damage with these two spines here. Of course, you could probably run by, but it's one of those things like it's almost never worth it to do that run by unless you've got a good number of Hellions and you're planning on doing that. If that's something that's part of your strategy. And I see you getting this tech lab, which is good. You should be getting that second gas right now, especially since you're going to be getting these upgrades. And if you're getting siege tanks, you really can't work off of just one gas. And of course, you're getting your orbital command on your expansion, so that's all coming along nicely. I think not getting this second gas earlier is going to really hurt you. And there you go, you finally throw it down. That's not that bad, not too late. And you're not playing super poorly. This is very standard at this point, very standard. It's keeping from getting supply blocked. A zerg isn't looking like he's getting a third. You're just denying that, and the zerg's spending his time getting his lair and just basic saturation on both bases. And as you'll see, he's way ahead of you in workers. He's probably just recently stopped unit worker production. Yeah, he's only got 3 zerglings this whole time. So basically what we're seeing is this army right here really should have been pushing quite a while ago. I think getting that stim first isn't a bad decision, but you have to basically push right when that stim is done, or get combat shields and push a little earlier, because I know he could see it, but he can't scout past right here. Unless he sacks an Overlord, which he did and you killed. He's not scouting anywhere past here. So when your whole army, this whole army right here, is knocking at this doorstep almost immediately, he doesn't have enough time to remax. You know why? Because he doesn't have not enough time to remax, but he doesn't have enough time to get units. He's getting 8 roaches right now, which is a good move, but how long ago did these siege tanks pop out? That's the real question. I was just checking his larva. He doesn't have any larva right now, so his response to build units really only could come at that point right there when I had it paused. And here comes the bush. A little bit later, and now he's devoting pure unit production, man. Oh my god, I just can't talk. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's see if anyone's on this stream right now real quick. Just real quick. 4 fucking people. Look at that. Oh shit. 4 people. That is a nice number of people. I think that's the most people I've ever had. And by 4, I think, yep, 4. Although one of them's me. Alright, I'm going back to the thing. So, the point is really pathetic that 4 people makes me that happy. Alright, so right now, he got that full saturation about 2 minutes ago and started devoting all of his production to units, to fighting units. So you get here with this nice pushing. These siege tanks should just be a little bit scooched up so they have range, they can start hitting these. But the idea is, and you're even going to trade very favorably here. Wow. Okay, so the Zerg is just going to let you kill all of this very favorably, very favorably. And now if your siege tanks have been up 1 little inch, they would have been dealing that damage. And it's interesting because this is working relatively well, but because it's hitting this 1-2 minutes later, you have all of his larvae still being put into army. Now imagine if those 8 roaches were coming out when you were already here killing these 2 spine crawlers and you already had 2 siege tanks here. Now he still would have had some lings, he still would have had some roaches, and you probably would have had a little bit smaller army, so you wouldn't have won it quite as hard, but you still would have been in this position before all of his army can be devoted to, all of his production can be devoted to army. And I see you throwing down a bunch more barracks. I hope to see reactors on these. And getting your other gases. Now, why is there not a third coming down? 11 minutes, you want to have that third, almost finishing actually. And again, I love this push. This is really strong. really screwing him up, but you've been sitting here too long. You know what the death of a push, of a Terran push is? Inactivity. If you just wait, he can assess the situation. He knows exactly how much you have and exactly how much he needs to kill it. So he can wait until he knows and then just crush you. You don't know what he has right now. You're not in here. You're not attacking him. You're just chilling. You're just sitting. What are you doing with your sitting? You're finally throwing down this third. That's good. And you got up all these bunkers, or not bunkers, you get off these additional production, which is also good. But you need to be getting that expansion earlier if you're going to be sitting here out here passively, or you need to be pushing your presence harder than just passively chilling here as well. And I wouldn't even mind doing a drop with this medevac, throwing some Marines up here, something like that. That's not really the same as what I've been talking about before, but it's still a reasonable tactic. And now he's getting out 5 more infestors, already 3 out now, and that's when your Marines without combat shields are really going to be in a lot of hurt. And amazingly though, because siege tanks are so awesome, you're still going to do a lot of damage to these roaches, and kill. Looks like you're going to kill some infestors if you stim up and attack those. See, that wasn't that bad. And see, if you'd been pushing your presence before these infestors popped, you would have been doing so much damage. As you can see, infestors are pretty good against Marines. But, you know, what we got to say for it? We got to say we're down 20 supply, mostly in workers. If we had been, I am just going to be looking at production here. Why are there no workers building? There's 2. Let's speed up again. Let's see when the next workers can start. I don't even care what's going on over here. Don't even care. Why aren't workers being built? Alright, yeah. This is going to come down to worker building. Worker building while you're in the battles. I know it's hard. You got a lot of things to think about, but if you tap 4 SS, let me see what your hotkeys are. You actually have 5. So 5, and you don't have rally points on this one. I know you do. So you have them all rally pointed. You want to have this one rally pointed up to here, or to do a transfer, either way. But you just hit 4 SS, you know, and every 17 seconds, that's what it comes down to, really. It's that grind of building workers. Alright, so let's speed up again. Hit play. And again, this is great. Getting this third, very good, but it's definitely late. This could be good 3 minutes earlier. Definitely a little bit late. And the Zerg's able to throw down 2 bases in the meantime, which again, you know, that's a good move by him. So I'm not gonna say that's bad. And you know, doing drops is the correct response, and sending 1 drop this way and 1 drop that way, again, the correct response. Next time, I wouldn't recommend cutting across like this. Do the wide arc. Check up this base. Might as well see if there's a thing there on your way down to drop. You have a more secure drop path, so your drop's just more likely to survive, and you're not going to get seen by them, so you're going to have a more likelihood of the drop landing and them not being able to respond to it, and you're scouting. 3 things, really all important to do. So this, and personally, I think the scouting is almost the most important, because you're going by and checking if they're getting really greedy and getting 3 expansions or getting 2 expansions. You know, and this worked pretty well. I mean, unfortunately there weren't any drones here for you to kill, but you know, that's all right. And you could be doing another drop here. You know, I mean, your APMs aren't like really high. I'm not actually even sure what league this is. I don't even know. I have no idea. Let's speed up. Now, if we look, let's take a little pause here and check out our upgrades. 1-1 to 1-1. Alright, very even. No one getting anything with 2-2. You're getting your armory, so you're getting there. That's good. That's good. Getting another base. Wonderful. And you're moving out. And he's got his whole army moving out at the same time. Now, this is the trouble. You did not want to be moving out when he's moving out. That is very unfortunate. See this here? This army is engaging this army, and these tanks are not sieged. That's a really bad thing.